Supriya Rachel from the Social Studies methodology. Today let us do the lesson Expansion of Democracy. But before we get into the lesson, let us look at the picture and I want you to answer what do you see in the picture. Yes, they are people. There are some men, women. They are holding something in their hands. What do you see in their hands? Yes, they are some kind of ID cards. Can you tell me for what purpose do we use identity card? Okay. Okay, good. So what are the different types of identity cards that you see? Aadhaar card. Okay. Voter ID card. Very good. So why do you use voter ID card? Voter ID cards are used by people who are eligible to vote. Very good. Recently and at present there is general elections going on in our country. Isn't it? Yes. So what happens during elections? Okay. People elect their representatives. So which form of government is this? Very good. Democratic form of government. So what happens in democracy? In democracy, the people rule. People elect their representatives and they, based on the majority that a party receives, they rule the country. Yes, very good. Okay, can anyone tell me the definition for democracy? Okay, democracy in the words of late US President Abraham Lincoln is government of the people, for the people and by the people. Okay, so now let us see which are the countries that have adopted democracy in the 21st century. Some of the countries listed here are India, United States of America, United Kingdom, France, Norway, Sweden, Denmark and some others. But there are some other countries which are still struggling and striving for democracy. So some of the examples for these countries are Libya and Myanmar. Before we go ahead, let us see what Libya is all about, the political, social and economical aspects of Libya. Libya is located in the Maghreb region of North Africa, which is spread over an area of 1.8 million square kilometers. It is the fourth largest country in North Africa and 16th largest in the world. Libya's economy comes from the oil reserves. It has the 10th largest oil reserves in the world. The people there mostly speak Arabic and the religion followed is Islam. Now, coming to the historical background of Libya. Libya was initially ruled by Romans, Greeks and some other countries. In 1951, Libya got its independence from Italy and the power was transferred into the hands of King Idris I. King Idris I, along with few other powerful families, ruled over Libya. In this rule, what happened was all the wealth that was accumulated from the oil reserves was distributed only among some few and powerful families. So the youth of the country, seeing that the human equality was affecting, they wanted the wealth to be distributed equally among all the people of the country. The youth revolted, as a result of which, in 1969, Muammar Gaddafi, along with 70 officers, called themselves the Free Officers Movement, and these people together took over the control of Libya from King Idris I. King Idris I fled the country, because of which monarchy was abolished. After getting independence in the year 1951, the Libyan society, if you look at it, the most of the people were tribal people who depended on agriculture and cattle rearing. Hence, there was a lot of poverty prevailing in the country. As a result of which, people revolted and there was revolution happening in the country. When Muammar Gaddafi and the other officers took over Libya, they had made changes in the country. They brought about changes in the country for a modern egalitarian society. However, we can see the changes, social reforms like the literacy rate had gone up, the life expectancy of people had gone up, women were allowed to study, educate themselves and work. The earlier women were in Parda system that was slowly getting eradicated. However, at the same time, Muammar Gaddafi and the officers followed dictatorial form of government. They started torturing and harassing people who came up and who came up against them. Even though there were democratic parties which were parallelly ruling the country, Muammar Gaddafi and his men tortured them and did not allow them to come up. You, many unions and many trade unions and student unions stood up against Muammar Gaddafi, as a result of which people were not happy. They started interacting with the world through internet and other social media to tell their grief. During this time, there was a movement called Arab Spring, because of which the other countries started taking interest in Libya and helping the people of Libya come out of this situation. The US government helped the people of Libya overthrow and kill Muammar Gaddafi, as a result of which democracy was established in Libya. On 14th November 2012, after Gaddafi was killed, there were 100 political parties which participated in free and fair elections. About 200 representatives were elected, and interim constitution was established in Libya. Thus, Libya attained democracy. But however, if you look to see in the newspapers today, Libya is still struggling to have democratic form of government in their country. Okay. Now children, let me ask you some questions. Can you tell me how was Libyan society before and after independence? Okay, yes. The Libyan society was mostly consisted of people from tribal areas, tribal people, nomads who, who survived on cattle rearing and agriculture. Okay, my next question. How was the economic status of Libya? Yes, the people of Libya mostly uh, depended on the oil reserves of the country. Okay, good. So tomorrow let us learn about the country Myanmar.